Jonah chapter 1. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. From these verses we just read, I want to look at the topic, believers' compromising attitude towards evangelism. Believers' compromising attitude towards evangelism. It is obvious through behavior, character, and approach to the work of evangelism that a lot of believers do not understand how important this job is. What this job of evangelism is to humanity. That's why believers, some are off and on toward the work of evangelism. Some are not committed to it at all. Some do not see the importance of evangelism. Some do not know the place of evangelism concerning humanity's eternal life. And that's why they handle it with utmost carelessness. Sometimes some believers see evangelism as a burden. Why are they distracting us? Why are they disturbing us? Why don't they allow us? But if they understand the place of evangelism, they will all rise up and go to the field and get the work done. We saw compromise in the life of Jonah. We saw his attitude towards evangelism. We saw how he looked down to this noble assignment. We saw his unseriousness toward this great job of evangelism. And what we saw him doing, I can tell you that Jonah is far more better to many so-called believers today. Jonah declined to do this work, and he saw the evil in declining to do this work, and he decided to run away from God. In his short memory, in his level of understanding to whom this God is, if he ran away from the territory of Israel and went down to Tarshish, God will not be there. God will not see him again. He will hide away from God. He will hide away from God's presence. And as such, there will be disconnection between him and God. But today, believers in their compromising attitude towards evangelism, dares God. Jonah ran away. Believers will refuse to go on this great assignment of evangelism. They will go back to God. Give me money. Give me a wife. Give me children. Give me husband. Give me accommodation. Heal my sickness. Touch me in this area of life, in that area of life. That's a great insult to God. Jonah was more better and respectful unto God than many believers today. Jonah declined to do the work and decided to detach himself from God. If you watch throughout this picture that was painted to us here over the action, behavior, and the attitude of Jonah towards evangelism, he never asked anything from God. Because to him, he has offended God. To him, he has disobeyed God. To him, God is not happy with him, so he decided to disconnect from God. But believers today, we heap it to God. I dare you, but you cannot do anything. Give me this blessing. Give me this healing. Give me this prosperity. Give me this promotion. Give me this. Give me that. And in doing that, they block their way. And in doing that, they keep going from one level of suffering to another level of suffering. You cannot disobey a man in the physical and go back to the same man to demand from the man. You cannot refuse to hearken to the voice of a man physically and go back to the same man and think your voice will be heard by the same man. You cannot openly tell a man, no, I cannot do this assignment you are asking me to do, and you go back to that same man seeking for a reward from that man that you outrightly disobey. That's what believers does today. And if you don't know it today, most of what believers are going through in life is as a result of their attitude towards evangelism. Evangelism is too dear in the heart of God. God loved all his children so dear. But those who major on evangelism, winning sinners unto him, of whom he came to this world, died and suffered so much, touch God somewhere. God has a special place for such children in his heart. A man that major on the field of evangelism does it with a sincerity of purpose, does not open his mouth much to request, and God grant that request unto him. Evangelism is so important. If humanity's eternal life will be guaranteed. Evangelism is so important. If the wrath awaits sinners on the last day will be averted. Evangelism is so important unto humanity if their sins will be forgiven. Evangelism is so important unto man if his eyes will be open. Evangelism is so important unto humanity if they will be turned from the power of Satan unto God. Evangelism is so important unto God if reconciliation will take place. Evangelism is so important unto God if humanity will once again return back unto God and be called and addressed as the children of God. Evangelism is so important unto God if the mansions that Jesus has gone to heaven will be occupied by humanity. Evangelism is so important unto God if the price of redemption will not be in vain. Evangelism is so important unto God if the purpose of the man of sin on earth will be defeated. Evangelism is so important on earth if the power of sin will be crushed. Evangelism is so important unto God if the entire dark world will suffer heavy casualty, heavy defeat, so long as the affairs of humanity is concerned on earth. And now, as important as all these things are, believers are the only people on earth entrusted with this great assignment to achieve this goal. But then, these believers are so ignorant, these believers are so unconcerned that they do not know the weight of the responsibility assigned unto them. And because they do not know the weight of responsibility, they are busy chasing shadows. Now, the question comes here. What did Jonah try to go and achieve from Tarshish? There was no specific assignment that Jonah was trying to go and catch up in the land of Tarshish. God decided to bring him out from obscurity into light. God decided to announce Jonah. God decided to make Jonah known. God decided to make Jonah useful to himself, to God, to humanity. God decided to give Jonah name among great men on earth that had name with God. But Jonah declined. Jonah decided to go into a place that he will forever be not be known. What is the problem with humanity? We pursue shadow instead of the real things. We abandon great assignment that will make our names be known on earth while we are busy chasing shadows. If not for the work of evangelism that shall jiffily embark on earth, we will not know him now. Many great people, according to human estimation, that we are engaged on the physical material things during his own time. We are not known by people. I do not know them. I have not read their history. I do not know anything about them. Everything they committed their lives into pursuing on earth and no more. When you study the book written, they call it the last word of man on earth. You will discover that a lot of people that while standing on the border of life, while standing on the border of eternity, the border that separates the physical from the spiritual, the border that separates the earth from eternity, you will see a lot of people regretting why they did what they do on earth. Why didn't they choose the right assignment on earth? And still, with such a book available for humanity consumption, believers are still distracted. God decided to give you name. Among all the great men that ever traveled through the shore of America, there is no one you compare with a man called Billy Graham. A man that committed himself so much on the work of evangelism. He lived for evangelism. He died while in that business of evangelism. Both politicians and other people in America had so much respect to Billy Graham, so long as America is concerned, and in turn humanity at large. God decided to give you great name on earth, and humanity abandon such, and they are busy chasing shadows. Some people that are envious and jealousy of people in one assignment or the other, some of them, if they had measured on the field of one-on-one soul winning, who knows whether God from there will now give them the calling of an evangelist, and as such they will have great name on earth. But instead of them to develop the gift of soul winning and then measure on soul winning, going to the field to evangelize, they are busy envying people. They are busy living in jealousy, and as soon as they enter that, they will die unsung. They will die without recognition. They will die and their name will perish on earth. People will not go and do what God asked them to do. They will run away from assignment that God had committed into their hand. As they are running away from such assignment that God committed into their hand, eventually they will think and see themselves neglected. They will see themselves not attending to. They will see themselves as if people have overshadowed them, and before you know it, they will start doing small juju. So start doing small sacrifice, poverty-stricken sacrifice that only takes small shaking and small amount of money from their pocket and going out to drop it on the junction somewhere, not knowing that as long as the earth is concerned today, there is no sacrifice any man or woman does on earth that will be accepted. Instead of you to measure to do the work, you will decide to join Jonah. Don't you know that joining Jonah to run away from the assignment that God has given unto you, you will perish in life without remedy. We need, all of us, to change our attitude towards evangelism. We need to understand the place of evangelism as in the life of believers. We need to understand how God value evangelism, soul winning, that we bring sinners unto him. We need to understand the full weight of the price that redemption paid, what Jesus suffered, what Jesus went through. The only people that heal the wound that Jesus sustained on the Calvary tree, the only people that heal the wound that Jesus sustained, why? They gave him those 39 strokes of cane. The only people that heal the wound that Jesus sustained on his brow when they forced that crown of thorns on his head, the only people that healed the wound that he sustained on his side when they pierced him with that arrow, that spear, are people that measure on the field of evangelism. When you are busy on the field of evangelism, each soul you win, you are healed a portion of wound that Jesus sustained in his great price of evangelism. But no, we leave that pains on him, and then we return back unto him after we have declined from going out to preach the gospel unto sinners. After we have asked us, my brother, rise up, sister, rise up, go out there, evangelize. We say no, we turn back to him, not minding the pains he's going through as a result of the great price he paid for humanity. Give me money, give me healing, give me children, give me husband, give me wife, give me promotion, give me accommodation, give me this, give me that. And Jesus will be asking, what kind of people are these? Why don't you go out and do what I ask you to do? And now you will discover whether I will abandon you, whether I will neglect you, whether I will not do my own part. Why don't you rise up first? I called you and I told you, don't you see that bar out there and see how sinners are perishing? Look at what the Lord told Jonah here. And sometimes when you see something like this, you discover how wicked man is, and humanity have brought this even into the kingdom, into the church. They claim they are believers, but the wickedness wickedness of the heart is still there. That's why they think evil of humanity. That's why they are not concerned about their fellow brothers and sisters in the church. That's why they will dig a pit and looking for who they will put inside the pit. And they do not know that when you dig that pit to fall inside that pit, you are the one that will enter that pit. Jonah chapter 1, reading from verse 1. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, said, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up unto me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and he went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. The Lord brought his consign unto Jonah.